One thing I've noticed in 2 or 3 decades in this business is that sellers usually choose one of 4 ways to set their listing price. And the first way that I've noticed is that sellers set their price based upon what they need. Maybe they're going to a destination, maybe they know how much that costs, they've already got a house picked out, there's some kind of a financial hardship that's coming up, and so they need X number of dollars, and so then they want to set their price, their listing price, based upon their need. Second way that I've learned that people set their listing price is according to what they want. I remember going through a full process years ago with a seller, and we were talking about comparable sales, we were talking about what's been on the market and market data and so forth, and we got to the very end, and I said, well, what do you think about this price range that I've suggested? And they said, well, that sounds fair and that sounds right, but my wife needs a new car, and so we've got this Lexus picked out, and that cost of that Lexus is going to be whatever the cost of the Lexus was, and so could we add the cost of the Lexus to the top of the cost of the house and then go with the list price of house plus Lexus? So that's a situation where the seller was picking based upon what they wanted. Sometimes sellers are saying, okay, this is how much I spent. Now, maybe it's how much I spent on the property originally. Maybe it's I bought the property originally and then I have spent this much on renovations, repairs, updates. I want the money that I've spent on the house back at the closing table. Fortunately, based upon the wonderful appreciation that we've enjoyed in this market over the last few years, is that a lot of times you can get what you need, what you want, and also cover what you spent. And that's a beauty, and that's a wonderful thing, and something that we're all grateful for, is the appreciation in our market. The wisest way to choose a list price is actually, what is the current market value? It's also the best way to actually maximize your net proceeds. When we are looking at a pricing strategy for a particular property, we evaluate 3 factors. We look at the active listings. What is the competition for this property once they go to the market? We also look at current pending sales. How long were those properties on the market? Did they have a price reduction prior to going under contract? And then, of course, we also look at the previous 90 days of closed properties that have sold, that compare well with the subject property. In order to achieve the highest level of success in this market, wisdom says price to the market, not based on what you want, what you need, or what costs you'd like to cover.